6 signs. She's only pretending to love you. You can't force attraction. But you can create moments that make her think about you when you're not there. There's a hard truth that many men only realize after losing years of time, money, and emotional energy. She's not always with you because she loves you. Sometimes she's only pretending to love you just enough to keep you trying, keep you hoping, keep you staying, while she never truly invests. Have you ever felt this? You're right next to her, yet you feel like a backup option. You text first. You initiate the plans. You try to create emotion. But the more you try, the smaller you feel. She doesn't miss you when you're gone. She replies when it's convenient. And you start asking yourself, am I not good enough? The truth is, the problem isn't that you're not enough. The problem is this: she never truly invested emotionally in you. Women don't pretend to love with words, pretend to love through subtle behavior. They give you just enough attention to keep you from leaving, but never enough to make you feel secure. You're in a relationship where you're always the one trying more, caring more, worrying more, and that's exactly when you get stuck. Psychology calls this an imbalance between presence, scarcity, and contrast. When you're always available, always there, always predictable, you lose scarcity. When your emotions are always on the table, your presence loses impact. When there's no contrast, her brain stops registering you as a man with value. That's why so many men end up friend-zoned, labeled too nice, or taken for granted. It's not because they re-weak, but because they re-loving a woman who's only pretending to love them back. In this video, I'll break down 6 clear signs that she doesn't love you the way you think she does. Not to make you angry, not to make you blame her, but to wake you up. Because nothing is more dangerous than a man investing his entire life into an emotion that isn't real. If you're listening and something feels familiar, comment the keyword wake up. Not for me, for yourself, because what comes next may force you to rethink the entire relationship you're in. You can't force attraction, but you can create moments that make her think about you when you're not there. Let's start with a feeling many men try to avoid, yet live with every day: the feeling of loving alone. You're the one who texts first. You're the one who keeps the conversation alive. You're the one preventing silence from killing the connection. She pulls away. You make excuses for her. When she turns cold, you ask yourself what you did wrong. And the more you do this, the more you invest while she stays exactly where she is. Sign 1. She shows up when she needs emotional support, but disappears when you need her. When she's sad, she calls you. When she's bored, she talks to you. But when you need presence or care, she's always busy. This isn't accidental. This is a one-sided dynamic where you play the role of an emotional supply. Sign 2. The future is always vague. You talk about next month, a trip, or long-term plans. She doesn't reject the idea, but she never commits. You hear the same lines: we'll see, I don't know yet. Let's talk about it later. A woman who truly loves you wants to place you in her future. A woman who's pretending keeps you in the present, close enough not to lose, far enough not to commit. Sign 3. You're always the one explaining. You explain your feelings, your intentions, your actions. Meanwhile, she rarely explains anything. Now, this imbalance reveals your position. In psychology, the person who explains more is the one who's more afraid of losing. Sign 4. Intimacy is inconsistent. Sometimes she's warm, affectionate, and close. Other times she's cold, distant, almost like a stranger. You get trapped trying to win back the good version of her. This is emotional conditioning. Your brain gets pulled into a hope-disappointment loop, and that's what keeps you investing deeper. Sign 5. She shows little curiosity about your life. You talk, she listens half-heartedly. You disappear for a while, she doesn't ask. A woman who truly loves you feels your absence. If your absence doesn't disturb her, it's because your presence never carried emotional weight. And sign 6, the clearest one: you constantly feel like you have to earn her affection. You need to do better, try harder, be more patient. Real love doesn't make a man feel like he's auditioning for a role that never confirmed. Why does this happen? Psychology is clear. When a man gives too much presence without scarcity, his emotional value drops. When you're always available, always ready, always predictable, her brain doesn't need to invest. There's no emotional tension, no curiosity. No reason to adjust her behavior. You become background noise. And background is never the focus. So what's the solution? Not confrontation, not demands, and definitely not chasing. The solution is consciously pulling your energy back. Step 1. Stop giving unconditional presence. Don't always text first. Don't always hold the connection together. Silence at the right moment isn't punishment times observation. When you stop compensating, you'll clearly see whether she steps up or not. Step 2. Stop explaining your value. Men with value don't convince others they're worthy. Their standards, behavior, and life speak for them. The more you explain, the lower you place yourself. Step 3. Shift focus back to your life, your work, your body, your discipline, your personal goals. When your energy no longer revolves around one woman, scarcity forms naturally. Real scarcity always comes from a full life, not tactics. Step 4. Observe instead of reacting emotionally. When you change, she will either step up or disappear. Both outcomes give you the answer you need. You can't force attraction, but you can create moments that make her think about you when you're not there. Now set emotions aside and face the core truth many men avoid. She didn't pretend to love you to hurt you. She did it because this relationship never placed you in a position where she had to truly invest. And that defined your worth as a man. It reveals how you positioned yourself in the relationship. Let's summarize. First, when she shows up only for emotional comfort, you're being used as a temporary shelter, not chosen as a long-term partner. Second, when the future is always unclear, it's not because she's not ready, but because she's not ready with you. Third, when you're the one explaining more, you're standing lower in the emotional balance. Fourth, inconsistent intimacy isn't passion, it's control through hope. And finally, when love feels like something you have to earn, it's no longer love, it's a trade. Here's the core principle. Women don't bond through promises, explanations, or excessive sacrifice. They bond through respect and emotional safety a man provides. When you lose yourself to keep her, you lose the very thing that could make her love you for real. Self-improvement isn't about proving you're worthy to her. It's about no longer accepting relationships that make you feel small, anxious, and desperate for attention. When your life is busy, purposeful, disciplined, you don't need to guess what she feels. Her behavior will tell you everything. Remember this. Strong men try to hold on to people who choose them. They walk away quietly, not out of weakness, but out of respect for their time and energy. And that kind of valuable withdrawal is what forces others either to step up or fade out. If you've listened this far and realize it's time to stop lying to yourself, comment the keyword "wake up." Not as a statement to the world, but as a commitment to yourself. And if you want to continue building real value, understanding female psychology without losing your masculine core, subscribe to the channel. Not to follow me, but to make sure you never return to the version of yourself that accepted half love ever again.